Hi, this is Callie Harris, and I am going to do a little presentation about this case study about parental apathy for my Ed Leadership class 856. As I studied this case study, what I understand is in this building, there are two administrators, a new gung-ho assistant, and a set-in-his-ways principal. What do I know? There's a lack of parental involvement. There's a lack of buy-in from the stakeholders in the community. There's no PTO. What do I need to know? I personally need to know a little bit more about this principal. What are his attitudes and beliefs about his community? What does he believe a school should be doing? Does he believe that it is important to have community buy-in, or does he just want them there to help him and do the jobs that nobody else wants to do? I also would like to know a little bit more about this principal's history of relationship with his community. Has it always been so bad? Was there an incident that caused some sort of rift? How long has he been in this job? Has the pendulum swung to a place where he is uncomfortable to be? And another one for me, what I really want to know for this new assistant is, what are the repercussions for going against what this principal believes? If she stands up for herself and the community, what is going to happen to her in the building? That's something I am worried about. I think based on the information, the problem is the principal. So my proposed plan of action is, I want to know what we can do to solve this problem. I think the big problem is he's called this meeting and it's very formal. He says there will be a special meeting at school at this time about parental involvement. Come to the auditorium. This to me is a problem because he hasn't asked for input. He hasn't done anything but get there, and then we have a small group, and then we're going to cancel because it's small. I think the first step is to continue with the meeting. Yes, there are only 8 parents there, but that's 8 parents. That's 8 families. You can do a lot with 8 families. So first, continue with the meeting. The second thing I think we need to do is welcome them to the school. Welcome. We are glad you're here. We know at the moment, there's not a PTO. There's not many ways that we have to have our parents involved. We want to know what we can do to make that better. And then I think you really need to brainstorm ideas with these community stakeholders, these parents. Ask them what they think we could do in the building to make it better. And again, build with these 8 parents. Our PTO is small but mighty. Strategies to implement this plan. Build on the ideas. So the ideas that they give, do something about it. And then create an action plan that involves the community. So take these ideas and build on them. And again, you have a small crew of 8. Likely they know 8 more. They each know 5 to 8 more and start to utilize them. And I also think the meeting place is problematic. I think we need to be in a library setting or a classroom setting where we can be facilitators, and instead of being the center of the room and doing the speaking, being open for collaboration. Let me change my slide. Resolution of these issues. What is best for parents? What is best for students? Obviously, what is best for students is for our parents and communities to be involved. They need to see their parents believing that school is an important place to be and valuing what happens there. The same is for the community. The community needs to see the school as a meeting place, as a place where things happen, innovative ideas are cultivated. We need to see that the community believes in their school and what is happening there. And we have to have partnerships with our stakeholders. We have to have community buy-in and belief in what is happening in our systems. The resolution for these issues. Examples. I think this guy is pretty old school. Parental involvement is not volunteering in the lunchroom. I could have hundreds of parent volunteers, but who wants to volunteer in the lunchroom? Not me. Very few showing up is not zero. I think that's where we all can get off track. A small group of willing people is better than hundreds of people willing to do nothing. And the other issue I see with this principal is phone calls and comments from a few select parents is not him being involved in the community. How is he present? How is he viable? What is he doing to build relationships in the community? Some issues that were unresolved for me, thoughts, feelings, and values during my response. I had lots of feelings of disgust towards the principal. I had feelings of worry for the assistant principal, and I valued this small but mighty group of parents because being there and being willing to work with your school, even though it's a somewhat unfriendly environment, that means a lot to me. What issues were unresolved? Again, I would like to know more about the history between the community and the principal. I would like to know about his willingness to delegate the responsibility. Will he allow his assistant to take over this piece if he has broken the trust, if he is unwilling to, if he doesn't believe that it is valuable? And I want to know is, will that meeting continue? Will they use the small group to help them move forward? So how am I promoting my academic success? So Program Standard 4, Function 1C, talks about developing community and family partnerships. And so I definitely think I discussed that in my presentation. A lot of that had to do with collaboration. Collaboration starts with continuing the meeting. Collaboration is asking for parents and community input. And collaboration is also working with the ones who show up. Showing up is a big deal. They know they want to be involved and around and be able to communicate what is happening in their school. Another one, promoting personal well-being for all students, staff, and stakeholders. This is Program Standard 4, Function 3, A and C, doing a needs assessments of our family and involving our community in decision-making. It is so important for us to get to know our parents, who needs help, who's willing to be helpful but doesn't have the resources, and who in our community needs us to be more supportive of them, whether that is with food, clothes, supplies, or emotional support through death and disaster. Providing a safe space for families. When we have meetings in an auditorium, that is a lot less personable than having it where they can sit and chat and feel like they are a welcomed member of the community. I always think about when you're in someone's home, sitting down around their kitchen table, and I think that is more my style of let's bring them in, sit down, chat, and let it be a welcoming environment. And then showing value to all members of the community. Yes, 8 people showed up and maybe they weren't the most affluent or most important, but let's value every member of our community. And promoting communities of engagement. How did I do that? This is again Standard 4, Function 3, B and C. I asked for input in setting up the meeting place to be more conducive for collaboration. Built on parental ideas to move forward, being present for community events, and asking parents to be present in the building and not working to do the scut jobs. I hope this was informative and my ideas were on point with community engagement. Thank you for listening.